The old way of making money off Amazon is dead. Old school private labeling doesn't work anymore for 3 reasons: China, oversaturation, and basics. But with the death of this old school way of doing things comes a new opportunity, a better way to make money off of Amazon that defeats these issues, which I'll talk about later in this video. But let's talk about why Amazon FBA is dead. The old school way of doing private labeling is dead. The first reason why Amazon FBA, or at least the way most people are doing Amazon FBA, is dead or at least dying is because of China. And most people that private label, where do they buy their products from? They buy it from China. They're basically, most people that do private labeling, they're basically a middleman. They're finding profitable private label products, they're copying them and selling them directly at a better margin, cheaper than you can possibly do it. Now, some people are avoiding this by properly branding their private label product, which is a step in the right direction, but China's getting smarter and more creative, so that might not be enough. It used to be that you just find a product on Amazon that had good sales, but a bad product listing. You'd make your own brand of that product, list it on Amazon, make a slightly better listing, and boom, you'd be rich overnight. But that doesn't work anymore because there's so much competition. Chances are you're not going to be able to find a product. It's a lot harder to find products now than it used to be. But even if you get lucky and you do find a product, by the time you launch it, you'll have dozens of competitors. And again, if China finds out that you're doing this, they'll make the product for cheaper than you can possibly sell it for. Don't worry, I have a solution to all this I'm going to share with you in a second. But the last reason I think Amazon FBA, or at least the old school way of doing it, is dead is because of Amazon basics. I've had a ton of friends that find a really good private label product, they start making money from it, Amazon finds out about it and creates their own Amazon Basics version of that product. Now, Amazon Basics are always gonna rank higher than your private label product. Amazon is in the business of making as much money as possible. If you create a boring old private label product, Amazon's gonna create their own version of that, undercut you, and steal all your customers from you. All that being said, it's not that Amazon FBA is dead, it's private labeling that is dead. Last year, 50% of all e-commerce transactions happened on Amazon. Third-party sellers, people like you and me, made up $160 billion in revenue for Amazon. There's still opportunity on Amazon, but the people that are making real money, the millionaires coming off of Amazon, they're not private labeling, they're creating their own product. This is private labeling 2.0. And what's crazy about this is if you do it properly, you don't need any money to start. The reason nobody is talking about this right now is the people that have created their own product and are selling it on Amazon. They aren't on YouTube, they aren't on Instagram. They're busy making money off their own company. And to be fair, I created my own product and I sell it on Amazon, and doing that completely changed my life. My goal is not to just make as much money as possible. I'd rather help other people do the same thing. I did a complete pros and cons versus video on private labeling versus creating your own product, and I'll link that up here and down below. The quick notes is when you create your own product, there's no competition. You can use Shopify, you can sell your product on Shopify. You can use Instagram and Facebook ads to sell your product. And maybe best of all, you can do a Kickstarter to raise the money for your first round of production. The way I did it and the way I recommend you do it is, first off, create a product that doesn't exist that you wish existed in the world. This is what I call a passion product, something that you really believe in, something that you're actually passionate about, not just a boring private label product you don't care about. I've tried to start online companies, online businesses that I don't care about the product, and it's a struggle. It's so much harder to do it that way. When you actually care about the product, it's easier. After that, what you do is you grow what I call a launch group. Use Instagram and other social media platforms to get fans, get their email, get them into a Facebook group, have them help you develop the product. Then the next step, when you go to launch it on Kickstarter to raise your money for production, they're gonna be your initial supporters. They're gonna be your biggest fans, and they're gonna spread the message. From there, you're gonna do production, and ultimately, when you go to launch it on Amazon, you've already got a bunch of people that are going to buy your product and leave reviews, which is the most important thing for launching a product on Amazon. So you can see why private labeling is dying and why this method is so much better than private labeling. But to prove it, I have a video right here where I share all the details, the honest results of my first year selling on Amazon. And in it, I talk about the biggest mistake I made, something that you need to make sure you avoid. So click that video down below. I'll see you in the next video, and remember to enjoy the journey.